Hi, this is James. I'm doing a video on the outrageous idea of Christian scholarship. This book was written by George M. Marsden. Uh, there's a lot of things in this book that I really like. He said, if I can get my glasses, contemporary university culture is hollow at its core. Not only does it lack a spiritual center, but also without any real alternative. He talks about how the dominant academic culture trains scholars to keep quiet about their faith at the price of full acceptance in that community. Um, I have by Kindle, not page number, unfortunately. So he said, on location 282, academic reformers fought against these restrictive religious establishments and eventually dismantled those that had the greatest cultural influence. This was a part of the larger process of disestablishment of Protestantism as semi-official religion in America. Of course, he brings up diversity and pluralism. Remember that there's not one Christian point of view, there's many different Christian points of view. And in academia, they don't want to favor Catholicism versus many different branches of Protestantism. Sorry, I don't know why I took my glasses off. I really like what he said on location 675. He said, a more mature version of ideologically oriented scholarship will include criticism of its own tradition rather than a simple celebration of everyone and everything that is on one's side. Now, for me, given my background, given that I have a Master's of Divinity, I would say that and forgive me, the source that I have was a series of tapes that were done by the early Bart Ehrman, when I believe that Bart Ehrman was still a Christian. He did a series of, this is how old it is, cassette tapes for the learning you can do online now. And he basically said that, and this is, I believe, the standard that any belief system should be held to, is the idea of independent attestation. In other words, if you're making a claim about something, and you're making a claim that a historical event took place, you have multiple attestation. You have multiple sources that are independent of one another, but yet verify that that event took place. Excuse me. Whether you're talking about Christianity from the point of view of the Calvinists, Jonathan Edwards in the 18th century, right before the Revolutionary War, whether you're talking about the Second Great Awakening with the Methodists, people that were influenced by John Wesley, whether you're talking about late 19th, early 20th century holiness movement, which later became the Pentecostal church. Any group that makes some kind of claim needs to be able to back it up with different sources. So in other words, the standard that I would hold to any faith group, and I believe in order to be relevant to the discussion, you have to have some kind of standard. I think this is what Marsden was getting at. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? And do you have the sources to back it up? For example, early Christianity, where some people are questioning whether or not there were even Christians in the 1st and 2nd century. Well, historically, we have a letter written by Governor Pliny, who was leading what is now modern-day Turkey, and he wrote a letter to Emperor Trajan. Now, in that letter, he said that, well, these Christians don't obey certain laws, they don't participate in certain rituals, but they don't really cause us any troubles. What should I do about it? And Emperor Trajan wrote back to him and said, don't waste your time hunting these people down. But if they are presented in front of you, have them offer incense to Caesar, and if they refuse to do that, then arrest them, put them in prison, and if need be, have them executed. So there has to be, I definitely believe that people of faith have a place at the table in academia, but you need to know what you believe, why you believe it, and have sources to back up what's being said. As a Wesleyan, I go back to the things that Wesley wrote. I go back to his sermons to reference those things, to reference people like Francis Asbury. And that is what I use for a basis of and foundation for my faith. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to watching my peers' videos.